On the edge of the galaxy, far from the busy trade routes and central star systems, floated a small alien research station named Outpost Zeta-9. The team working there was small, only 5 scientists from different species. They were sent to watch space for strange signals or unknown objects. For years, nothing unusual had happened. Dr. Kelvor, a tall insectoid from the Thalax species, sat in front of a blinking console. He yawned. His job was to monitor old radio waves from deep space. Most of it was static, just background noise from dead stars. But today, something changed. A long, slow beep echoed through the room. The console lit up. "Strange," Kelvor said, leaning closer. "That's not natural." He typed quickly, running a translation program. The signal repeated. "This is Earth Command. Is anyone alive out there?" Kelvor froze. He stared at the words on the screen. "No, this must be an error," he whispered. He called the others. Soon, the whole team gathered around the screen. "Earth?" said Jonah, a short, gray-skinned alien with large eyes. "That's a myth, a story for children. They say humans lived there," said another. "But they all vanished centuries ago." "They were never real," said Sorrow, the team's leader. "Old war stories and bedtime tales." But the signal continued. The same message played again and again. Calm, clear, confident. "This is Earth Command. Is anyone alive out there?" "I'm saving the data," said Kelvor. "We should send it to the Galactic Council." "Wait," said Sorrow. "Let's not make fools of ourselves. It's probably a prank." "But look at the language." Jonah pointed at the translation. "No known species uses this anymore. Only the old humans did." They argued for hours. Some were afraid. Some laughed. But no one believed it was truly real. That night, while most of the team rested, Kelvor stayed awake. He kept staring at the screen. The signal had stopped. Then something new appeared. A dark shadow entered the station's sensors. It had no name, no ID code, no light, no heat, but it moved fast. Too fast. "Ship detected," the system said. "Unknown origin." The station's lights flickered. Kelvor hit the alarm. "Wake up. We have a visitor." The team rushed back to the control room. On the main screen, they saw it. A large black ship. It looked like a knife cutting through space. Silent. Still. "It's not sending any signals," said Sorrow. "No welcome code. Nothing." "Try to contact it," shouted Jonah. They sent messages in every known language. No reply. Then the ship blinked its lights, 3 short flashes, and suddenly a message appeared on their screen. It was in the same old language. "Observe." "What does it mean?" asked Jonah. "I don't know," said Kelvor. "But I don't like it." Without warning, the station's power dropped. Lights flickered. Doors shut. Emergency lights came on. The gravity system shook. "Main power offline," shouted Sorrow. "Backup systems failing." The screen went black. For a few seconds, there was silence. No one spoke. No one moved. Then, the cameras came back on. But they showed something strange. On the outer platform of the station, facing the main window, stood a tall figure. Humanoid, wearing a dark suit, helmet covering the face. It didn't move. The team stared at the figure. The camera zoomed closer. Then the helmet's visor lit up. And inside, 2 glowing human eyes stared back through the screen. Jonah gasped. "It's real," Kelvor whispered. "Humans. They're real." The lights in the room shut off. The last thing the team saw before total darkness was the figure raising its hand slowly. Then everything went black. News of the strange signal and the dark ship reached the Galactic High Council within hours. The council sat inside a shining white dome on the capital planet, Doran Prime. 13 leaders from 13 powerful species sat around a circular table. Each one ruled a large part of the galaxy. A hologram of the destroyed outpost Zeta 9 floated in the center. Static buzzed. Broken messages played again and again. This is Earth Command. Is anyone alive out there? Observe. Human eyes, staring through the screen. But most of the council members laughed. This is nonsense, said Chancellor Gorvac, a heavy reptilian alien. Ghost stories and system errors. Nothing more. The humans are extinct, said Matriarch Tuvel, leader of the Silnari. They vanished 400 years ago. We wiped them out. General Torkin, an old war veteran with a scar across his face, didn't laugh. He stood slowly. You didn't fight them like I did, he said, voice low. I saw what they could do. Entire fleets gone in seconds, planets burning, machines that fought for themselves. Please, General, said Gorvac. You speak like an old man lost in dreams. Torkin narrowed his eyes. Because you want to forget. But I remember. The council continued arguing. Some feared the signal. Some called it a trick. A few wanted to prepare just in case. But then a message came through, live. An emergency alert from the planet Veltar, near the galactic rim. Unknown ship sighted, said the shaky voice of a Veltari officer. No ID, no power reading. It just appeared. Send warships, ordered one council member. They already did, said the voice. We sent a patrol fleet. 4 cruisers. They fired warning shots. And the voice paused. They're all gone. No debris. No trace. Just gone. Gasps filled the chamber. Maybe it was a wormhole, said one counselor weakly. A spatial fault. But the voice continued. One last message came from the lead cruiser before silence. Transmitting now. A low, broken voice played from the speakers. They're not just back. They've changed. They're cold. Silent. Watching. We shouldn't have forgotten. Then silence. Panic grew in the room. They were supposed to be myths, shouted one leader. They were myths, whispered Torkin. Until now. He stepped forward. You all remember the War of Fire. When humans first came, no one expected them to be dangerous. Small, soft, weak. But they adapted fast. Too fast. They learned every language, cracked every system, turned every weapon against us. He looked around the table. We didn't defeat them. They left. No one knows why. Maybe they got bored. Maybe they found something worse. But they warned us. He paused. They said if they ever returned, it wouldn't be for peace. The chamber went quiet. Then a new alert blinked on the center screen. Another signal detected. Location: Planet Traxxer 5. Message: Your crimes are remembered. It played in over 6,000 alien languages all at once. No reply was possible. The ship vanished again. Now fear filled the room. How many of these ghost ships are there? Someone whispered. No known count, said a data officer. They appear, observe, then disappear. No damage. Just fear. Why are they waiting? Asked one counselor. Torkin answered. Because they're studying us. Studying. Yes, he said, like we're insects. And soon, they'll decide what to do. Matriarch Tuvel stood. We must prepare for war, gather every fleet, alert all systems. But against what? Asked another. They don't attack directly. They watch. Gorvac slammed his hand on the table. Then we find them and crush them before they strike. No, said Torkin. You don't find ghosts. You run from them. Or you pray they disappear. But it was too late for that now. Across the galaxy, on dozens of quiet planets, unknown ships were being seen. They left no damage, no sound, just one word: observe. And across those planets, children began to have strange dreams of tall shadows with glowing eyes, of cities burning, of a voice saying, We warned you once. Far from the Council's shining halls, on a desert planet called Ravos, an old man walked alone through the dust. His name was Dr. Halric Fenn, one of the last historians of the ancient wars. He had spent his life studying the lost species called humans. Most called him a fool. But now, as ships with no names began to appear across the galaxy, people came looking for him. A young messenger, barely out of training, landed at his outpost. "Dr. Fenn," she said, out of breath, "the Council requests your help. Ships are appearing. People are scared. Some say it's them." Fenn didn't speak right away. He looked at the sky, empty and blue, but too quiet. He finally nodded. "They should be scared," he said softly. "Humans were not like the rest of us. They didn't want power. They wanted freedom. And they fought harder than any race I've ever known." The messenger followed as Fenn walked into his dark study. The walls were covered in old maps, files, and pictures. Blurry photos of tall figures in armor, strange machines, and burning cities. "Why did they disappear?" she asked. Fenn touched a dusty photo. "They didn't disappear. They left. The Council never told the truth. At the end of the war, the humans had already broken our lines. They could have destroyed the core worlds. But they didn't. No. Instead, they stopped. Sent one final message." He activated an old recording. A voice played, calm, strong, and cold. "We see what you are. We will not become it. We walk away now. But if you ever lie again, if you ever erase the truth, we will return. And next time, we won't walk away." The girl's eyes widened. "So they warned us." Fenn nodded. "Yes. And now, they're back." Meanwhile, in deep space, inside a hidden system with no name, a massive human fleet floated in silence. There were thousands of ships, all black. No lights, no heat, no ID. But each one was built with advanced technology far beyond what the galaxy had ever seen. At the center was the command ship, the Revenant. Inside, Commander Rhea Morgan stood before a large screen showing images from across the galaxy. Alien cities, council meetings, military buildups. "Are they preparing for war?" she asked. "Yes," said the AI voice beside her, "but they don't understand who they're facing." "They will soon," she replied. Another voice came through the ship's comms. "Observation teams report full panic on 17 systems. Council has begun hiding data, just like before." Rhea's jaw tightened. "They never learn. They erased history, called us myths, and taught their children we were monsters. But now, they see we're real." She turned to her officers. "Begin Phase 2. Back in the capital, the Council received a final file from Dr. Fenn. It was titled, "Ghosts of the Past: The Truth About Humanity." They opened it. Inside were videos and records long hidden. Images of human soldiers rescuing alien civilians during the war, humans stopping wars between alien factions, and photos of council ships firing first, long before humans ever responded. The room went silent. "They weren't monsters," whispered one counselor. "They were better than us." "We made them the enemy," said another. "We erased the truth." A new alert flashed. "Unknown signal intercepted. You taught the galaxy to fear us. You made us legends. Now you will learn what legends become." Suddenly, all council systems shut down. Communications failed. Lights flickered. And across every main screen, a single image appeared. A human figure, eyes glowing. Behind them, the Black Fleet. "You forgot us, but we did not forget you." The galaxy was no longer calm. After the signal, every major power went into emergency mode. Armies were activated. Borders were closed. Fears spread like fire. The Council tried to control the panic. They told the media it was just a test signal, nothing to worry about. But no one believed them, because across the stars, black ships had started to appear in open space. They didn't speak. They didn't fire. They just hovered above cities, near fleets, even near ancient ruins, watching, waiting. One of the first to make contact was Captain Voro, leader of a patrol fleet near the planet Reknar 12. He was a strong, proud warrior from the Creole species. He didn't believe in legends. So when a human ship appeared near Reknar, Voro didn't hesitate. "Send a warning," he ordered. They did. No reply. "Fire a pulse shot. Let them know we're not afraid." The ship didn't move. "Direct hit," said the officer. Then everything went black. All ship systems died. Lights, weapons, engines, gone. The crew panicked. And then, slowly, the human ship sent one message. "You fear the wrong thing." Then it disappeared. Back on the human command ship Revenant, Commander Rhea Morgan watched the galaxy react. She didn't smile. She didn't speak with anger, only focus. "Targets are afraid," said her tactical officer. "Most systems in chaos. Some trying to reach out." "Let them," she replied. They had centuries to speak the truth. Now they will listen. The AI next to her, named Helix, asked, "Will you destroy them, Commander?" "No," she said. "Not yet. That would be too easy." She turned to her officers. "Begin full reveal. Let the galaxy see who we really are." At that moment, every major news network across the galaxy was taken over. Screens flickered, and then a video played. A message from humanity. A human woman stood in a dark room. Behind her, ancient war images. Cities burning, alien fleets crashing, civilians crying. Her voice was calm but strong. "Long ago, we walked away. We saw what the galaxy had become. Lies, power, fear. So we vanished. You called us myths. You erased our name. Now we return, not for war, but for truth. We are not invaders. We are reminders of what you did, of what you became. You taught your people that we were monsters. But we were never monsters. We were the mirror, and now we hold it up for all to see." The video ended. And then, silence. On the council planet Doran Prime, chaos broke out. Some demanded peace talks. Others wanted war. But none could agree. "They're everywhere," one advisor shouted. "We count over 1,000 ships now, across every quadrant." "Why aren't they attacking?" asked another. "Because they want us to panic," said General Torkin. "They don't need to fight us. We're tearing ourselves apart." Torkin looked out the window. A dark shape floated above the city. No lights, no markings. A ghost in the sky. "They've become something else," he whispered. "Something more than what we knew." Meanwhile, on the planet Eros 9, a group of young alien students gathered around a screen in silence. They had grown up hearing stories of human devils in school. But now, they were seeing something different. An old documentary leaked by humans showed humans helping alien refugees during the war, carrying children, giving food, defending the weak. A small child asked, "Are they bad?" No one answered. Back on Revenant, Rhea stood before her crew. "Now they know we're real," she said. "But what's next?" asked Helix. Rhea looked out into the stars. "We give them one final chance." "Final." She nodded. "Send the message to the council. One meeting. One place. No weapons. No lies. And if they refuse?" Helix asked. Rhea's voice was like ice. "Then we stop observing." The council chamber on Doran Prime had never been this silent. 12 leaders sat around the long black table. Behind them, guards watched nervously. On the walls, screens showed live footage of black human ships above major planets, still silent, still waiting. The latest message from the humans played on repeat. One meeting. One place. No weapons. No lies. General Torkin stood in the middle of the chamber. "We cannot trust them," he growled. "They appear without warning, shut down fleets without firing, and spread fear across the stars. This is war." But Counselor Velen, a calm and older leader from the Terran species, shook her head. "No, General, this is not war. If it was, we would already be gone. They're giving us a choice." Counselor Renmac, who had once mocked the idea of humans, now looked pale. What if the stories were true? Not the scary ones. The others, the ones saying humans walked away because they wanted peace, not power. Velen looked around the room. "We erased their truth. We made them myths. We were afraid of them, not because they were evil, but because they were free." Torkin slammed his hand on the table. "They are a threat." Velen stared at him. "So are we, but they're offering peace. One meeting. I say we take it." A few days later, on the moon Alon 6, a small, empty station lit up after 300 years. It was the meeting place. No guards, no armies, just one table. On one side sat Counselor Velen and 2 aides. On the other side stood Commander Rhea Morgan, dressed in black, her face calm, eyes cold. The silence between them was long. Finally, Velen spoke. "You came. I wasn't sure if you would." Rhea nodded. "You listened. Most wouldn't. We made mistakes," Velen admitted. "We feared what we didn't understand." Rhea looked at her. "No, you feared what you did understand." She placed a small cube on the table. It showed images, hidden history files, old war videos, proof of the Council's lies. All truth. "This is everything," Rhea said. "Your history cleaned, fixed. We offer it freely." Velen looked surprised. "You're not here to punish us." Rhea's voice was calm but sharp. "We don't care about punishment. We care about the truth. Your people deserve to know it." "And if we refuse to share it?" Velen asked softly. Rhea didn't blink. "Then we erase your systems, quietly, one by one, not with war, with silence." Velen's aides gasped. But Rhea continued. "We are not the same humans you once knew. We've grown. We've seen what power does. We don't want your worlds. We don't want your land. We want your truth." Velen lowered her eyes. "I will bring this to the full council." "You have 3 days," Rhea said. "After that, the offer ends." Back on the Revenant, Rhea walked into a quiet chamber. There, a large screen showed a rotating star map. Every system, every fleet, every council stronghold. Helix, the AI, appeared beside her. "Do you think they'll accept the truth?" Helix asked. Rhea didn't answer for a while. Then she said, "Some will, some won't, but the truth is already spreading." Helix changed the screen. Alien civilians on faraway planets were now asking questions, sharing the human message, protesting the council, looking up at the black ships not with fear, but with curiosity. "Maybe," Rhea said softly, "we don't have to fight this time." Helix's voice was quiet. "And if we do?" Rhea's eyes turned hard. "Then they'll learn what happens when legends return." On Doran Prime, the council argued through the night. Some wanted peace, others wanted war. But outside the chambers, people marched in the streets, not in fear, but in demand. They held up signs. "Show us the truth. Let the humans speak. We remember what you erased." And in the sky above them, the black ships waited, still watching, still silent, but ready. The stars over Doran Prime looked calm, peaceful, but everyone knew it was a lie. Up there, above the clouds, 6 black human ships floated in silence. No weapons out, no lights, just waiting. On the ground, people whispered. Some stayed indoors, some marched in the streets, and others watched the skies. Inside the council chambers, panic had turned into fear. Counselor Renmac stood by the large window, watching the ships. They're not moving. They're not talking. This silence, it's worse than war. Counselor Velen sat at the table. In front of her, the human data cube glowed softly. It contained all the hidden history, everything the council tried to erase. The people want truth, Velen said. If we don't act soon, they will tear us down without a single human shot fired. General Torkin growled. We still have fleets, weapons. If we attack now, then we lose everything. Velen snapped. The humans shut down an entire fleet with a single signal. You want to test their patience again. Torkin went silent. He didn't answer. Deep down, even he knew, this wasn't a war they could win. Meanwhile, far from Doran Prime, inside the human command vessel Revenant, Commander Rhea Morgan stood alone. She stared at the screen showing council broadcasts. Protests were growing. Crowds chanted outside every major government building. People demanded truth, not just humans' truth, but their own. Helix, the ship's AI, appeared beside her. The deadline ends in 10 hours, Helix said. No council response yet. Rhea didn't flinch. They're waiting for us to make the next move. Helix tilted its head. Do we? Rhea was quiet. Then she said, not yet. Let them choose. Behind her, another officer walked in. Commander, he said, we picked up something strange. A secret transmission, not from the council. From inside. Rhea turned. Who? A woman named Hala Vey. Civilian. Works in the council's archive division. She sent us a message. She wants to help. Play it, Rhea said. The screen blinked. A young alien woman appeared, eyes wide, voice shaking. My name is Tala. I don't have much time. I've read the old human records. I know what the council erased. I saw the real footage. The peace treaties. The betrayal. I know you were never the monsters. The council will not change. Not all of them. But the people. We're ready. Give us a sign. Something we can use. Something they can't cover up. Don't let silence be the end. The message ended. Rhea stared at the blank screen. She looked at Helix. Can we trust her? Helix ran a scan. High probability she's telling the truth. No false signals. No traps. Rhea gave a slow nod. Then we give her a sign. 1 hour later, across 12 major planets, something happened. Without warning, giant holograms appeared in the skies. They showed footage, real, untouched, of ancient human fleets, not in war, but helping, rescuing alien colonies, signing peace deals, saving lives during galaxy-wide disasters. Then, it showed what came next. The betrayal, the secret attack by the Council to wipe out the humans, the lie that they had vanished, the cover-up, and finally, the human ships returning. The people were shocked. Some wept. Some shouted, but no one could look away. Back in the council chamber, Velen stood as her comms exploded with noise. What is this? Who released this footage? Torkin shouted, turn it off. Jam the signal. A tech officer replied, we can't. It's everywhere. Even ships in deep space are seeing it. Velen closed her eyes. It's too late, she whispered. Then came the sound none of them wanted to hear. Outside, the crowd was roaring. Truth, truth, truth. Torkin looked at Velen, then at the human cube on the table. This was always going to happen, he said quietly. Velen nodded. Yes. And now, it's time we listen. In the sky above Doran Prime, the black human ships finally moved. Not toward the planet, not to fire, but to form a symbol. 12 ships in total, a perfect circle, the human symbol for peace. And below them, for the first time in centuries, the people believed the legends. But now, they weren't legends anymore. They were here, and they were waiting. The 12 black ships hovered in silence above Doran Prime, their circle shining like a dark halo in the sky. On the planet below, everything had changed. The protests had grown into marches. The people weren't afraid anymore. They wanted answers, and they wanted them now. Inside the council tower, panic turned to confusion. Councillor Velen stood tall at the center table, while screens around her showed scenes from dozens of cities, citizens chanting for truth, holding signs, even waving human flags from the old Alliance days. Councillor Torkin, for once, had no words. His power, like the lies they once told, was crumbling. Velen took a breath. "It's over," she said. "We can't hide anymore." Then the building shook. But it wasn't a bomb. It wasn't an attack. It was a signal. A soft hum filled the room, and a hologram blinked to life in the center of the chamber. It was Commander Rhea Morgan, standing tall in black armor with the Human Alliance symbol on her chest. The entire council stared. She spoke calmly, firmly. "We are not here to conquer. We are not here to destroy. We are here because the truth matters. You try to erase us, but legends, they don't die. We offered peace once. You broke it. Now, we offer it again. But this time, it's your last chance. The people of this galaxy deserve better. Choose your future." The message ended. The room went silent. Velen turned to the others. "It's time to choose." Hours later, for the first time in 300 years, a human ship landed on Doran Prime. The crowd was silent, not because they were afraid, but because they were in awe. The ramp lowered, steam hissing as metal touched ancient soil. Commander Rhea Morgan stepped out. She was followed by 2 diplomats, not soldiers. The people watched as she walked forward, head high, hands empty. Then came the moment. Councillor Velen, without guards, without fear, stepped forward and met her in the center of the square. No cameras, no fancy words, just history. They stood face to face. Velen spoke first. "I'm sorry." Rhea nodded. "We're not here for apologies. We're here to rebuild." Velen looked back at the crowd. "Then let's rebuild. Together." And they shook hands. Over the next few days, everything moved fast. The council stepped down. A new galactic assembly was announced with one rule: every species has a voice, including humans. Old human records were made public. Ancient files, lost knowledge, medicine, technology, warnings about the old mistakes. People across the stars celebrated. Some still feared, but hope had returned. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was no longer under one voice. It was many. In orbit, on the human command ship Revenant, Commander Rhea stood with her crew. Helix, the ship's AI, spoke calmly. Galactic broadcast shows 87% approval of the new assembly. Protests have stopped. The people want peace. Rhea smiled. "We didn't need to fire a shot." Helix nodded. "Legends only need to return." Far away, in the ruins of Sol, human engineers worked to rebuild Earth's lost homeworld. Ancient cities were rising again. Spaceports reactivated. The blue planet would shine once more. And in the center of it all, a statue was placed. A tall figure, half shadow, half light, with a plaque that read, "They tried to erase us, but we remembered who we were." Back on Doran Prime, a small alien child asked her father, "Papa, are the humans real?" He looked at the sky, where a black ship slowly drifted by. "They are now," he whispered. And above them, stars shined brighter than ever. Because the legends had returned, and this time, they were leading the future.